one of the most important thing, if you are thinking of becoming a YouTuber or if you are a YouTuber, is custom thumbnails. That's right. So if you have a really good thumbnail, then people are actually gonna click on your video to watch it. However, if you don't, people are not gonna watch your video. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you how you create a really eye-catching custom thumbnail for your YouTube video. All right, before we go ahead and create a custom thumbnails, let's look at the psychology of thumbnails. That's right, there is a thing called psychology of thumbnails. So what that means is when you are on YouTube and you are just scrolling through it, let's just scroll through it and you pick any thumbnail that is appealing to you, that grabs your attention, and that is like, wow, I want to learn more about that. So I'm gonna scroll through it. So here we go, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then for some reason, I don't know why, even though this particular one has no words, none of that crazy stuff, it's just one picture of a dog, this one right here, getting hit by a frisbee. And that's just like crazy. And then there's this one, a really creepy alien look-like thing. And let's keep going. And we'll go here. And then there's this one, the hustler. So when you are creating your thumbnails, the first thing you want to keep in mind is what emotion will this thumbnail provoke? Let me repeat it one more time. What emotion will this thumbnail provoke? Because if somebody has certain kind of emotion, whether it'll be angry, whether it'll be sad, whether it'll be cute, whether it'll be lovey, whether it'll be romantic, whatever, it doesn't really matter, right? As long as it provokes some kind of emotion, and that's something that you want to include it into your thumbnail. And the second thing is include some kind of a text, because if somebody's looking for example, let's say a little brother rap, this one right here, and if somebody's brother, this one right here, if somebody's brother into rapper and they're like, hey, my little brother's rapping, and then you're like, oh wow, this is pretty cool, right? So that's what they're going to click on it. So let me show you the application that I use to create my thumbnails, which is very easy to use. And even though there's a whole bunch of applications you can use, and I will throw up some of the names right about now. And these are all the ones that you can use, but one that I use is called Adobe Spark. So let me go here. Let me close this out because I like to be a little more neat and clean and organized. So in here, I love this application because it's pretty cool. So what you do is when you sign in, and there is a free version which you can absolutely use and which has a lot of features, and then there's the paid version, and the paid version has a little more features. So when you log in, you will get a screen like this, and then you will see a whole bunch of these icons. So let's say if you want to click on YouTube, even though they don't put it right here, you can just click on Facebook post, and I'll show you what to do afterwards. And once you have that up here on the left hand side, at the time of this recording, this is what the menu looks like. And then you can upload a picture. They have icon, design, assets, background, so on and so forth. So let's say we want to, first of all, and most importantly, we want to create a YouTube thumbnail, right? So what you can do is on the right hand side, right over here, there is a button that called resize. You click on that, and then you scroll down where it says YouTube thumbnail, which will change it to its size accordingly. You just click on it, and then bada bing, bada boom, and it's done. And one of the things that I absolutely love about this particular application is you can zoom in either by clicking on this arrow and then go to like 75%, or you could do plus and minus. What I really like to do is as a shortcut, you hold down your control if you're using a Mac, control key, and then you could zoom in by your mouse wheel thing if you have it. If not, then you could do plus and minus. That will, if you do plus, it's gonna zoom in, and then if you do minus, it's gonna zoom out, which is really cool. And I would like to leave it at 100%, and let's just start adding stuff in here. So let's say if you want to add a photo, right? And you could upload a photo for the sake of this particular video. I will just find, you can find a photo, and then you could say, I don't know, let's click a thumbnail about YouTube. And let's pick this one. Right, so here it is. So there it is. If I click away, and then there is this. And now that I have this in here, which is on my thumbnail screen, I can click on it once, and then on the right hand side, there's going to be a whole bunch of options that are going to come up. I can replace the background of this. So let's see what that looks like just by clicking a button, and it does a pretty good job. Like, I am pretty surprised at times where like how great of a job it has done. So here it is. So it had removed all the other objects. Now I can literally freeform this anywhere and move it around. So let's say if I do this, and if I want to move, let's just zoom out a little bit. And let's say if I want to change the background color of this, right? So I click on this, and then I could change the background color to green, purple, green, or whatever you want. You could just go really crazy on this thing, right? So let's say this is it, and I can move this around, and this is pretty freeform, unlike the Photoshop or other software where you literally a little restricted. You just click on this and you could drag this around anywhere you want. So let's say if you want to add another text in here, you want to click on this, and then they'll give you a whole bunch of options. I typically just click on this, they'll add text, and I'll type in YouTube thumbnail, and this will come up here, and then I click. And if I want to resize it, I could just make it really bigger or smaller, or vice versa. And then also, if I want to change the font of it, on the right hand side, as you select each element being background is an element, this is an element, this guy with the picture holding his hand on the laptop, that's an element. So there's this, then you could just change this around. And then I want to change the font size, I click on this and change it to this. Then it goes really crazy. And now if I want to add a shadow or shape behind it, I can click on this button, and then adds a different color. If I want to change the color of the background, I can come here, change this to, I don't know, this color. Let's click on this. This looks a little outish. And then what I could do is I could typically, let's say, leave it here. And if I want to change the shape of it, I could change the shape by going here, and there's a whole bunch of other shapes that you could play around with it. So that's the shadow of it. And let's move on. So another feature what I want to show you is, obviously, right, you can upload your own picture by clicking here. And there is another one called icons. You can add different icons to it. So let's say if you want to add a play button, let's call it play, and then hit enter, and then there's the YouTube play button right there. You bring that over here. This is one of the elements. You click on it, and then you can go on and change its color. So let's change it to, I don't know, red or something. So there's this, and bada bing, bada boom. And if you want to change it, you can change it to this, and then that would be it. So let's do really cool thing. So I'm just gonna go here, upload a picture, and I'll just go up to here, and where are my pictures? There are my pictures in here somewhere. So let's pick this person. Just gonna upload it. Now what I'll do is I'll click on this, remove the background, because I just want this person to be only that. Takes a couple of seconds, and hopefully it will be coming up soon. So here it is. So all the background is removed. It is just so cool. So I'm gonna click on this, delete this. Once this comes up, I can just click on this delete button, and it moves away, and I move this over here, and this guy, I could just put it over here. So now that we can actually start to make it look a little prettier. So let's change this color to little something else that stands out a little more. Yeah, that stands out a little more. And then if I want to play button, really is not doing anything for me. So I'm going to just delete it and then go back to icon. I'm going to add a emoji, call it smile. I'll add the, let's add this one. And then this particular element, I'm just going to go over here and then add it onto the corner. And then while this is selected, I can rotate it like this way or any which way. I'll just do this and then just go here and change the color to this, to like a red or something. Maybe not. Let's do green. That looks ugly. Let's just stick with the red, and that's that. And let's make this a little smaller, right about here, I think. Yep. So YouTube thumbnail, I love it because most of the time when people read, they read from left to right. So you're gonna go from here and here and then come back down. So then when you have this guy, another thing that I like about this thing, so let's say if you select this guy right here and you want to turn this around on the opposite side. So there's a bunch of options in here. You could just flip horizontally, so he's facing that way, or you could flip vertically, so he's facing upside down. And let's just say face it this way right here, and that way we could just go over here. What I typically like to do is I just have my text on the right, on the left rather, and let me just go here and increase the let's change it to another font, and I'll just go here and call it 100. Right, and that's that. So that's it. And before I make it, and this is obviously a very basic thumbnail, and a couple of things that's going on here. There's the emotion like catches up, and then you got the text, and then you have the image picture in here. So if you want to get really creative with it, you could really use this tool to get creative. One of the things that I want to share with you is that before you go on and actually go and export this out by clicking on the download button and then this click on start downloading, make sure you change this to a 25% zoom. The reason being is because if it's at 25% zoom and you are able to read your text, that means your text is pretty good thing. And this took me a while to figure this thing out. So make sure you do the 25% rule thing. So that way, if you have some text, people will be able to read it. Because think about it, if people are on their smartphones and they're just scrolling, and if your text is like way too small, and I've seen this, a lot of thumbnails have really small text, and that looks crazy. So if you have a really small text, people are not going to be able to read it. So you might as well not even put it. But if you do this 25% zoom text, you are gonna be okay. So hopefully this helps you, and if you really truly enjoyed this video, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel.